Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelei Shimayo. This is the MeWe Metaphysics and Wellness Fairs for energizing body, mind, heart, and soul. We have events throughout the Pacific Northwest and online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm here with Hope Helgren. It's lovely to be here with you, Hope.
Yeah, I'm thrilled. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, you're welcome. So tell us, what is it that you do in your work? What do you offer at our events?
So I am a Reiki master. I teach Reiki. I give Reiki sessions. And most recently, I've been adding tarot into my Reiki sessions. So my work is really about helping people to get to the heart of what they're suffering with, whether it's something physical, emotional, in their relationships, something in their life just isn't working. And we don't always know what that thing is. So that's part of what I do, is like exploring with my clients. So I usually start a session with a tarot reading, which can inform so much about the energy that a client is dealing with. And so we start that, and then we get on the table, and I'll also work a lot with the chakras. So I'll do a chakra scan of the person's body, and then we jump right into Reiki. And also during the chakra scan and doing Reiki, I often get what I call hits or psychic hits, which is always exciting for me. And the message often doesn't make sense to me, but I know it does to my clients. So I think there's different schools of thought around that, but I always like to share that information. Whatever's coming through is obviously a message meant for the person.
Yeah. When you're working with someone online, I assume you're doing distance Reiki. How do you have the person position themselves? Like, how are they when they're having the treatment?
Definitely laying down. Hi, puppy.
Lotte wanted to add his voice. We probably are getting a delivery. Well, yeah, so tell me, how do you work with people when they're doing?
I definitely want people in the most relaxed state possible, laying down, in a calm meditative state. That's how I like my clients to be. Yeah. And I started out I would get offline with the person and then come back after the Reiki was over. But I've found that it's better to just stay with my clients. So it'll be a Zoom call or something like that, and I'll be with them so we can see each other, even though they're laying with their eyes closed. But that togetherness is really, really important, because like experimenting with not being face to face, even if it's over Zoom, it just really wasn't working, because I felt like a real loss of connection when working with the person. So I've shifted that a little bit.
No, that's great. And probably everyone watching knows that I'm an eye reader, so I'm a big fan of contact with people in that way.
Yeah. And I'm comfortable with this kind of contact too. Like, I love seeing people face to face, but I'm becoming more and more comfortable with Zoom as well.
Yeah, and that's at least Zoom too. Like, I even just if I feel the energy of the person through their body so much more, even if yeah. Well, how did you get started doing this work? And so how did you get started? I assume Reiki was more of your beginning, but then and how did tarot and you being aware of getting other information, like how did that all start showing up for you?
Yeah. So very, very early in my life, actually, like I always knew things I don't know how I knew. Like, I can even remember my mother, like one particular incident where my mother, I knew someone was coming to visit, and there's no way I would have known, because they loved to surprise us. So they were surprising us. And so I walked up to her and I'm like, so when are they coming? And she's like, who's coming? And I'm like, Aunt Judy. She's like, how did you know that? And so it's just an early memory of being able to kind of sense things around me without really knowing what was happening. So I was really young at that point. I think I've been reading tarot since I was probably 12 or 13 years old. Self-taught, just over the years, just got better and better at it. The more readings I do, of course, the more I'm able to feel or sense or see. I've always been very intuitive. I can, like, during my Reiki sessions, things come through in a variety of different ways for me. I sometimes hear things in my mind, like just hear voices. I can see things, and often I'll feel or sense something in my own body. And so I know what my client is what's happening in their body through just feeling it in my own, which is pretty exciting. So this has always been a part of me, but it's only in the last couple of years I've really dived in. I'm like, no, this is actually what I'm meant to be doing with my life. And I need to really figure it out, because I know I've always known this is what I meant to be doing on this planet. It just took me a long time to accept it and to be like, no, this is really your job.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, we all have our own journey. That's just so interesting hearing that it's, yeah, just like been so present, yeah, the whole time. Oh, it's great. And so do people tend to come to you for specific topics? Like, is it primarily the like energy or something in their energy field that they're aware of, and then all kinds of other things that you do with them, or they show up for other things too, and Reiki is one of the ways of addressing that?
Yeah, it can be anything. Often, yeah, like I have a good mix of like physical, people presenting with some kind of physical issue, and then people who are just struggling with something emotionally and can't quite figure out how to move through it. So I think, a really good mix of both. And I'm open to that because I think part of what I'm doing, offering the exploration is a really important piece of it for me. And so I think I'm attracting clients who are really kind of confused. Like, why am I sick in this way? Or why can I not deal with my money? Like, why are my relationships so terrible? Whatever it is, because as you probably know, the problem really usually isn't what the problem that's presenting. Like, it's something deeper, some deeper work that needs to happen, some old limiting belief, or, some energy that's stuck in the system that needs to be cleared out. So yeah, my work is really about exploring and helping clients to find out what those hidden things are.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well, if people want to learn more about you, where do they go on the web?
So I have a website, hopehelgren.com, and I'm on Instagram, same tagline, Hope Helgren. And I'm also on Facebook at Reiki Wellness with Hope Helgren.
That's great. And I'm just going to spell it for everybody in case they can't see it in the video. It's HOPEHELGREN.
Exactly.
I'm excited having you at our events.
Oh, thank you so much. Me too.
You're very welcome. So for all of you listening and watching, you can find out more about all of our events at mewefairs.com. That's MEWEFAIRS.com. See you soon.